Hey guys, welcome back to Mighty Morphin DJ. I'm DJ, and today I want to take a moment to discuss what Hasbro is going to do after they're done with the Mighty Morphin roleplay items. Let's take a look. So the big question on a lot of people's minds right now is what season of Power Rangers is Hasbro going to focus on once we're done with the Mighty Morphin roleplay items? You know, what helmets are we going to get? What replica weapons are we going to get? What morphers are we going to get? Everybody's, natural reaction would be Zeo. Let's go straight to Zeo. So what does Zeo have to offer? First of all, Zeo offered our first unique morpher from the original Power Morphers from Mighty Morphin. They gave us the Zeonizers, which was a device that strapped on both arms and you had to connect them together. And it was really cool. I heard it was a pain in the butt to get them to sync up the right way, but it was really cool. So that would be a cool thing for us to get, would be the Zeonizer. Now, because the Rangers never got, unique morphers to them, with the exception of the Gold Ranger, it would be very easy for them to put out just one Zeonizer and be done with it. They don't have to do a red, a blue, a yellow, a black, or not a black, but a green, and so forth. So that would help them get through it quicker to move on to the next season. And then they each did have some unique weapons. The Red Ranger had a sword, the Pink Ranger had that shield, which that was one of my personal favorites. The Green Ranger had twin axes. I really liked those. I thought those were cool. What can I say? I like axes. So they had some unique looking weapons that I really liked. The helmets especially would be really cool, especially the Gold Ranger helmet. That's one that I would love to have. And then speaking of the Gold Ranger's power staff, that's one that we might get. Now, I've said in a previous video that I don't want them to do the Gold Ranger's power staff because the Legacy Gold Ranger power staff is already perfect in every way. You can't do better than that. I mean, they might give it a couple of sounds that this one might not have. They might give it some motion sensing, but realistically, it doesn't need it. I think it's perfect the way it is, and I'd rather them not try it. But it's Hasbro, and if the Power Rangers franchise is being successful for them so far in terms of toys and props and all those other things, I'm sure they're going to do it. So Zeo would be the next logical step, and that's just because it is the next season that came after Mighty Morphin, if you don't count Alien Rangers, which they still may do, by the way. I hadn't thought about that. So, we'll see. Now, another season that a lot of people forget about was actually the transitional season between Mighty Morphin and Zeo, which was Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. It was about a half a season, and it was actually pretty cool. We got a team of Rangers from another planet. They had a different set of powers that was based on a different season of Super Sentai. It was actually really cool, and I liked it a lot. But the thing is, there's not a whole lot that they could do with Alien Rangers, with the exception of helmets and weapons. And they only really had one weapon. They didn't have a set of unique weapons. They each just used an identical sword, and then there were no unique morphers for that season. They all used, they kind of crossed their arms like this, and then they called their power, and that's how it was. Unless they used the morphers from that season of Super Sentai. I suppose they could do that and call it the Alien Ranger morpher. But that would be really easy to do. It would be a quick one for them to do. Each helmet was pretty close. It was just mostly they were just different colors. So that's one that they could do. And a lot of people really like the Alien Rangers. I mean, they are releasing a full set of Alien Rangers in the Lightning Collection action figure. So obviously, there is a market for the Alien Rangers. People do like them, so they are, putting that out there. So they may do Alien Rangers. They may do the helmets. They may do the swords. They may do the morphers that were used in the season of Sentai. Who knows? Time will tell. So the season that comes after Zeo, and the season that I personally am dreading, is Power Rangers Turbo. Not many people are fans of Turbo, mostly just because that's a season we transitioned from the cast that we had had for some time to a whole new cast of people that we'd never met before, and they did it relatively quickly. So it was kind of, unceremonious. That turned a lot of people off. So the season is not well received even today, and I've gone back and rewatched it. I still don't like it. But there are some cool things that they could do with it. First of all, the helmets don't look bad. I mean, they are cool looking, in a way. So if they did the helmets, that wouldn't be bad. That would look pretty cool. They did each have unique individual weapons. The most unique one was probably the twin, kind of blaster cannons that the Blue Ranger had, and then the Green Ranger had one great big cannon that he had. Those are the two most unique ones. And then, of course, the Red Ranger had a sword. The Pink Ranger it was called a Wind Chaser, but it would look like a bow and arrow. And the Yellow Ranger had, I actually forgot what the Yellow Ranger had. I'll flash that picture here on the screen. But, and then the Turbo Morpher itself. You know, it was one device with a strap, and then you had a key. You put it in there, and you turn it, and that did the power. So there are things they could do with Turbo. Now, do I personally want Turbo? Am I going to collect Turbo Lightning Collection roleplay items if they were to do it? Probably not, and that's just because I've never had the desire to have anything from Turbo. But that is one that they could do after they've done Mighty Morphin. They could go straight into it, or they could do in chronological order, Alien Ranger, Zeo, Turbo, you know, who knows. But Turbo is one that they could do because there is enough uniqueness in the items. Hey guys, before we get into the rest of the video, I have a question for you. Do you like my content? Do you want to see more of it? Are you just a fan of the Power Rangers in general? If you said yes to any of these, then I have a small request. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell to receive notifications of future videos. And now, on with the video. Alright, and the last one I'm going to talk about, and this is one that I would be super excited for, and that's Power Rangers in Space. In Space was considered to be the end of the Zordon era, and, I mean, it was expected to be the last season of the show, so they threw everything they had into it. It was a super amazing season. It saved the show from cancellation. I love it. And it brought with it a lot of opportunity for roleplay items in the Lightning Collection. For example, the helmets are super easy to do because they were all identical. All you gotta do is paint them a different color, and it's super easy to mass produce those and release each color one by one throughout the course of however long, so that'll be easy for Hasbro to do. They don't need to keep making new molds. They just gotta be big enough to fit my big head is all. Watching you, Hasbro. They each had a unique weapon. You've got the Spiral Saber, the Satellite Stunner, the Star Slinger, the Astro Axe, and the Lunar Lance. So those are all really cool, and I like those, and they can combine together to form two different super weapons. The Quadra Blaster, and then the Spiral Saber would just combine with the Red Ranger sidearm to combine a separate blaster weapon, which was really cool. And then, of course, you have the In-Space Morpher, which would be super easy to do. It's just an identical wrist strap for each of them that you flick it open, and there's a number pad. You just key in the pad, and it makes a sound, so that'd be easy for Hasbro to do. And then you have the Silver Ranger, who has the Super Silverizer, which is probably not a difficult weapon for them to produce. He had an identical helmet. You just got to paint it silver. And then his Morpher. His Morpher was kind of like a cell phone. It flipped open like 4 different ways, I think, and it had a different code in it, but you could do that easily enough. So there are a lot of things that they can do, and I would be super excited to see it, because like I said, In Space is one of my favorite seasons of the show, and they have shown that they are willing to bounce around with the seasons of the show, so they could go into In Space before going to Zeo or Turbo, because if you look at the Zord Ascension project, they did the Megazord, then they did the Dragon Zord, but then they skipped all the way to In Space and did the Astro Megazord, which everybody was like, whoa, what happened to Titanus? What happened to Zeo? You know, so they are willing to bounce around a little bit. So they may do that after Mighty Morphin is done. We don't know. Would I be excited if they just skipped to In Space? Yeah, probably. Yeah, but who knows? There's a lot of stuff that they could do. There's 30 seasons of Power Rangers. They might just start mixing it up. They might give us like a Zeo helmet and then give us an RPM helmet. You know, we don't know. There's just too much stuff that they can do. So at the end of the day, nobody knows. We're all just speculating. But personally, what would I like to see? I'd like to see In Space, or maybe even Lost Galaxy. I really like Lost Galaxy. I wouldn't mind having a Lightning Collection Quasar Saber, or that would be really cool. So, hey guys, future me here. Before finishing this video, it just dawned on me. The Psycho Rangers. We could do the Psycho Rangers if they were to go straight to In Space, because that gives us a whole nother set of helmets, a whole nother set of weapons. That would be awesome. I would love a Psycho Red helmet. That would be amazing. Please do that, Hasbro. Please do that. And now back to me from the past. Anyway, guys, this is just a, like I said, I just wanted to briefly discuss what they may do after the Lightning Collection roleplay items from Mighty Morphin have run dry. So if there's anything that you guys can think of, please say it in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What weapons and helmets and morphers would you like to see in the Lightning Collection from what season? Let me know. And if you guys have enjoyed this video, please check out this video right here and let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Anyway, this has been Mighty Morphin DJ. I'm DJ, and you know what time it is.